Yo, peep game. The culmination of the NBA season, the NBA finals. And we're gonna find out who's gonna be NBA champions. And honestly, in my opinion, this is the series I feel like the NBA didn't want. They wanted the Timberwolves and the Knicks for the ratings, you know. But let's be honest, this is in the '90s or 2000s. Got two small market teams going head to head, which I don't think I've seen that. No, I think the last time that happened, I believe it was the Suns and Milwaukee. But personally, I don't really see them as small markets, but they're not big markets. I see them kind of in the middle. Anyways, we got two teams that can go at least nine deep easily. Uh, the Pacers love to run. That's how they score a lot of their points. They want to get the transition started after the made basket. And the Thunder, they just want to D up. They just want to lock up the opposing team's best player or best players, depending on who they playing. I'm gonna say this, man. Um, OKC's deep. In my opinion, they can probably go at least. They can go 10, in my opinion, and the Pacers can go about 10 as well. But what it comes down to is, in my opinion, it comes down who has the better defense. I do because the thing is, yes, the Pacers can make hellified comebacks. They can shoot. They can shoot the three. They move the ball. The problem is they're facing a team that also can shoot the three mid range and go to the rim. But I think the difference is how both teams play defense. Man, what I saw OKC do to Anthony Edwards, I'm like, damn. They and Ant called it that game one. It's like an AAU defense. Well, that AAU defense worked because he couldn't do anything. You had to send you had Lou Dort in the back court picking up Anthony Edwards, making him turn multiple times, and that was impressive to see. And then of course, OKC has multiple guys that can lock down and play hellacious defense. But the difference is the Thunder play tenacious team defense. When you look at the starting five, if there's a quote unquote weak link on the defense, it's probably maybe Chet Holmgren because of his lack of girth. But he's a problem in offensive end, and Shea probably more the weaker link, quote unquote. But he plays defense too, and they play collective defense. They want to turn you over. They want to demoralize you. When I saw what they did to the Timberwolves, whew, it's an ant man. I'm like, damn. He couldn't do anything. You said I didn't struggle. I didn't get enough shots. Nah, you didn't get enough shots because they were locking your ass up. So he did, in my opinion, he did struggle. You struggle to get your shot attempts. That's a struggle in itself. But as far as the court goes, and Indiana to me, that was straight up coaching. That was straight up coaching. I mean, and preparedness up to this point. Because Rick Carlisle, I think he played 11 guys in the season, about 15 minutes each. Don't quote me on that. I think it's between 10 to 15. He's played 11, played 11 guys at least that many minutes. And on top of that, both teams are very, very young. Average age, I think, is like 26 and a half or 27 and a half. Not completely sure. Not completely sure, but I know it's well under 30. And I gotta say this: the Pacers, I doubted them a lot. I should have known they would beat the Bucks, because Bucks outside of Giannis is just But I didn't think they're gonna beat Cleveland. But then Cleveland got injuries, and then here comes Indiana again against the Knicks, and I picked Indiana in that series because The Knicks be doing Knicks things, and Thibodeau, I think one of the games he only played 7 guys. This isn't the old NBA. This is new NBA. You have to have depth this time because of how the collective bargaining has been worked out and excuse me, and laid out. So I think this is going to be the future NBA. You probably have you're gonna have to develop a big three and not quote unquote buy a big three. That the whole Miami Heat big three and what the Warriors did when they picked up KD. I think those days is over. You're probably gonna have 2 stars on your team, and you're gonna have to have a lot of depth on your bench. You're gonna have to at least go 8 deep, 8 reliable players, and then have 2 energy guys that's just there to do the dirty work. However, who I think is going to win and become NBA champions, I'm going with the OKC Thunder. And I'm picking them in 5. I don't think Indiana has the full answers for how OKC plays defense and how versatile, and the versatility of OKC, I think, will have an effect because they can go big. They can start to move Chet Holmgren to the power forward. They can start out big. They can play small with Chet Holmgren. Talking skill set as well. I know Chet Holmgren's like 7'2", 7'3". I know that. I know he's a 7-footer. But his skill set, he can shoot the ball, he can shoot the ball, put it in the rack, etc. But I don't think Indiana really has the answers for OKC's defense, while I think OKC's defense has the answers for have more answers for the Pacers offense, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. And I am a big believer that defenses win championships because the best defensive team, while being the worst offensive team, have won the championship. But the best offensive team and being a worse defensive team, that's never happened. There's never been a champion. And I am a big believer of defense winning championships. I know the Pacers have definitely picked up their defense, especially in this playoffs. But I think it's going to be too much of OKC. I think it's too overwhelming. And I think because Shea, I know they call him a foul merchant and all that, but he's able to create fouls. And I think he can get key guys on the Pacers in foul trouble more so than the Pacers can get a lot of guys on OKC in the foul trouble. But that's all I got to say. I got OKC winning the championship in 5 games. Be easy, everybody. Deuces.